and don't get sped up with this chaotic defense of Lamar.
Right inside for Rod, who got the start at the center spot for K-State. And a missed shot to open it up for Harad, who's one of that star-studded freshman class for K-State that ranks in the top 10 nationally coming in. They are a young team, having to replace many off of last year's squad. The only returning letter winner is Taryn Sides. Drive and a miss on the layup, on a stick back up and in on the weak side for Lamar. And the Cardinals break out on top 2-0. It's also a young team for Lamar. 8 newcomers for them, only 3 starters back from a year ago. As you look at K-State's starting 5 with Garcia running the show out up top. Jordan Spicer, true freshman, McDonald's All-American, her first start. She'll drive and finish and tie the game.
That's a great drive by Spicer there. They have to respect her three-point shot. So there she was able to get them up off the floor and attack the rim.
Spicer has shot 13 threes, the most of anybody on the team for K-State, but she's only hit 2, so encouraging her to do more of that, driving and dishing. Pass intended inside, comes off the backboard, and this is where K-State's at its best, running the court. Harad hammered. She'll head to the free throw line, and the left-hander fouled on her first drive to the basket. And she'll head to shoot 2 free throws. A product out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Putnam City North, where she won a state title. And already Lamar to the bench to bring in a substitution. Lost in overtime at Northern Colorado on Saturday in a 72-68 game. And now Harad at the free throw line for the Wildcats. Harad just 5 of 11 from the free throw line so far, but stayed after practice yesterday for a lengthy time, and then again this morning after shoot-around, trying to shoot free throws on her own, knowing that she could get a lot of opportunities. One more for Harad will be missing, and the rebound chased down by Olinga. This is not a big Lamar team, as in size. A couple of 6'1" forwards, about it. Three-pointer that goes up does not fall, and Spicer the rebound. Sides. Late trailer, Spicer, extra pass, back to her, and almost got the friendly roll. Man-to-man for both of these teams to open it up. Both sides want to play a little up-tempo. As Kindred mentioned, Lamar wants to be a little bit more chaotic, and on the drive here, Hess, the guilty, or Tess Heel, I should say, the guilty party of committing the first for K-State. Hear more about Heel coming up a little bit later in this game, but one of the few veterans on the team. You can see she caught the hand there of Armani Taylor.
Yeah, that was something that they were working on at practice yesterday, was coming together whenever there was dribble drives and making sure that they were keeping Lamar's penetrator out of the paint. And that time, obviously, Taylor got the best of that one.
Help defense, something Jeff Middy's mentioned he feels is still a work in progress for this team as they try to understand how to work together and working as a young group. Some of these players playing Division I for the first time. You have 10 players on the roster for K-State that did not play a Division I game last year. And one of their better players so far this season, Nastia Classens, the WNBA draft pick that opted to come to college instead of going pro. She is not here. Harad with a little step through, able to lay it in. Classens not here, just announced before the game. She is a member of the Belgian national team, and this being an Olympic basketball cycle, national team players have been called home this week for a week of practice. Canada also dealing with that. Delaney Gibb, the star player at BYU, also out for a week with her national team. Every team that had an international on their roster knew this was a possibility. Another rebound for Spicer. Garcia trying to hit Sides. Wide open. Harad left all alone. She's already got 5 points. And a breakdown for Lamar defensively in that chaos defense.
That was a great job by Kansas State, just playing slow enough to see the right play. You have to be able to slow the game down against these sporadic defenses that they want to create chaos and turnovers, and that was a great job there by the Wildcats.
Sides took a shot to the nose. She's been dealing with a slight fracture to that nose that she suffered in practice a few weeks ago playing without a mask. But that probably hurts a little bit more, getting popped on the nose. Did you ever break your nose when you were playing?
Luckily, I did not. I was very fortunate to not have any injuries other than a sprained ankle here and there, and then tore my UCL in our conference tournament.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it. 4 great years under Jeff Biddy, Kindred Wiesman. And back now Kindred Orpin joining us here for the broadcast today. Isela Arenas in for the first time along with Cotton off the bench for K-State. Cotton, the transfer from Duke, had a big home game here against Omaha. Shot clock winding down. Sides trying to make something happen. And gets the friendly roll. The playmaker, Taryn Sides, which is what she did here in this court against Omaha. A double-double the last time here. 15 points, 12 assists, and 7 boards.
It's kind of interesting seeing an undersized guard do a little back down and a shimmy with their shoulders to get a bucket there. But that was really nice by Taryn Sides. She's a gamer.
Elite level game playmaker on the offensive end. Garcia took a shot as she tried to get into the front side, and that will be another foul on the Cardinals. That's the 3rd on the Big Red. Look again here at Sides. Little turnaround jump shot. At 5'6", you wouldn't think the word dynamo is the word you would use for Sides, but she is that on the offensive end. Just a 3-level scorer that can do it all. Now the Phillipsburg, Kansas. Garcia left open in the corner. 3-pointer is long, and fighting for the rebound. Arenas was mixed up on the far side, and they're going to get Anaya Foy, looks like, underneath the basket for a foul. So a little bit of a tight whistle here early. 2 fouls on K-State, 3 on the Cardinals. And the Wildcats on a 6-0 run fall back to the defensive end. Harrod leading all scorers with 5. K-State, though, a team that's going to play a lot of players, already getting a bunch in. Here's Sides with a pickpocket, a ball fake, but missed the bucket. And the Cardinals come out of there with it.
Just kind of had a missed dribble on that one. It was a great job by Taryn Sides. I loved how active she was with her hands to get that steal.
Going right at Sides. The answer on the other end from Denley. J.C. Denley, who had 13 in the opener against Northern Colorado. Junior in her 3rd year with the program. That was the attack point last year. Sides worked a lot on defense in the offseason, knowing that teams would come at her. Cotton, as she drives inside, is it knocked away on the dribble. Turnover by K-State. They had 20 of those in the matchup against SMU. Against that pressure defense, Garcia got hooked underneath, and a whistle on the shot. Foul will be on Cotton. It'll send us to a break. Defense, the name of the game, but culture also a big part of Lamar. We're going to talk about that when we return. Kansas State early lead thanks to Brandy Harrod. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN+.
Told us that this program's consistency is due to its strong culture. Franklin told us our recruiting is year-round. We're intentional with our players, and we approach every single day with a family mindset. She and her staff are investing in their athletes both on the court and off. They're focused on mental health, academics, and the players' families as much as on-court performance. And that approach has led to this Lamar basketball program 3 straight 20-win seasons. Yeah,
really, they're one of the premier programs out of the Southland. Thank you, Hannah, for that story. And Aqua Franklin in her own right, a former star player. Like Kindred, back in this conference, Aqua did it at Texas A&M under the legendary Gary Blair for many years. Taylor able to hit a couple of free throws. She's 4 of 4 at the line. And I think you have to have that. If you're at a smaller school, if you want to call it group of 5, whatever it may be, Kindred, I know you've had some experience with this, you have to kind of sell that relationship building with your team because you're not going to have the advantages of a Power 4, be it money, facilities, the rest, as Foy draws a foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just in this day and age of the portal, it's just, kids have to know that you are investing in them and in the player that they want to be and the person. And I think that's where a lot of coaches have kind of turned it a little bit, is they know that they have to do that more. And I've been a part of some programs where that was what we did. And it just made us that much better and that much closer and stick together.
This team, K-State, has had to do it with a lot of new faces, and one of the key parts of that has been Tess Heald. Her leadership coming from Santa Clara, then to Stanford, and now here to K-State. Heel, who did not score in the SMU game with a good left hand and one. That's already the 5th foul on Lamar, so K-State could shoot free throws the rest of this quarter, depending on the fouls. Walker with the personal. It's her first. She did not play the opener against Northern Colorado. 2 players already in for Lamar that did not play out in Greeley. That's KJ Walker and Talia Minor. Here's Foreman, who we talked about in the open. That 18-point barrage to open things up on the season at Northern Colorado. Minor in the corner, whips it to Walker. She'll drive, little floater, goes in. Senior transfer Walker, a year ago out of junior college. Last season came off the bench, averaged about 3.5 points. Cotton in a hole in the baseline, needs some help. Cotton has the ball knocked away, will just drive to the basket. Couldn't hit it, there's Foy for the offensive putback and one.
Yeah. Oh, so on this other end with Lamar, they had a great drift pass to the corner against the Wildcats, and then moving it across the perimeter and then getting a downhill drive. That's exactly what Coach Aqua Franklin wants to see from her team right there. And then on the other end, obviously, Foy going up with great athleticism and strength and going right back up to get that and one.
Mentioned that pass at the other end. It was the extra pass. Minor certainly could have shot that corner 3, but making the extra look to Walker got the advantage of the dribble drive and the basket. Hanging early with this K-State team, who again this week receiving votes at the top 25. A foul here on Heel on the rebound. That's already 2 on Tess. 4th on the Wildcats. And so now each team has landed themselves in the bonus. Last year, Lamar 22-8. As Hannah mentioned before, 66 wins over the last 3 years. So that's an average of 22 a year. Always near the top of the league. The last 2 years, they've gone 34-4 in the Southland. Another basket forced up and in by Foreman, and a lot of shots close to the hoop right now for Lamar. Against the K-State defense that has been suffocating their first 2 games. Arenas going one-on-one. She'll score with a left hand. So each side is showing the ability to get to the basket with some very good action. But only a 4-point lead for K-State. Foreman, another drive, high off the glass, couldn't get it. And here come the Cats. Lamar does a good job of getting back. Arenas looking for a cut. She'll drive, missed the shot, rebound, still batted around, still loose, and it comes loose to Lamar. And boy, Cotton got pulled down on top of a Cardinal. And hitting the ground hard was Talia Hill. Get a look here as Hill and Cotton kind of got mixed up trying to fight for the ball. And Cotton, with everything, no arm to brace herself, goes right into Hill. That'll knock the wind out of you in a heartbeat. And it's double foul will be called. Our officials today, Meta Christensen, Joshua Howell, and Nicole Leon. And they'll take a look at this. So they're going to take and see if there's anything outside of the basketball sense. I don't think it was. In fact, I think it's a little bit of a tough call on Cotton, who seemed to be just kind of pulled down with Hill. Yeah, I feel like it's tough on both of those players, honestly. I feel like it just was, both players kind of lost their balance, and you can't stop it from going.
The ruling on the floor of a double foul stands.
So Meta Christensen will stick with the call. That's second foul for Cotton, a tough one. That's already 7 fouls on Lamar. So both teams trying to establish a little bit of grit and fight here early, and all of a sudden now you've got 2 fouls on both Tess Heel and Janessa Cotton, 2 for Chisholm Aguego for Lamar. And look at this last play where Cotton just got wrapped up by Hill and was trying to free herself, and as they fell to the ground, Cotton on top of Hill, and anyone that's had the wind knocked out of you know that is a terrible feeling, and head banging off the floor. I mean, you could feel the vibration of Hill's head hitting the ground all the way over here. So hopefully she's all right. Redshirt senior transfer, or redshirt senior, I should say, who's been with the team since 2022. On a double foul, the arrow will be coming to play, so it'll be possession to Lamar once Hill is lifted from the court. She is still being tended to down underneath the basket. Looks like she's being helped up. I think they may take her right back to the locker room.
Hey, definitely worried about wind knocked out of you. Probably some back, maybe back popping a little bit too. Concussion. Looks like her low back maybe.
Yep. She's being helped up, but still does not look like she is in any position to walk. So now you wonder, can they find a stretcher or some sort of wheelchair to be able to take her back towards the locker room? And it looks like a wheelchair is being brought over for her by K-State staff. But again, if it's a lower back, you also wonder if sitting down may not be much more comfortable either. Now, Aqua Franklin trying to talk to her team. Kindred in this moment, Jeff Binney doing the same with his crew, and now having an assistant coach talk with the team. How do you keep your blood's going, your emotions, how do you get everything refocused back in? Yeah,
it's just a reset. I think everybody wants to, obviously Lamar, it would be, let's go get this for her. Let's play hard for her. And for the Wildcats, probably feeling like they maybe got a little bit of a wrong call, but just getting back out here and playing and just doing what you were doing before. It's nice to not see her have to go off on like a stretcher. Like she can still move and stuff. So that's good for both sides. I think that's just the attitude of it.
Yeah, from a mental standpoint, you're not worried about your teammate, or if as a player like Cotton, if you're Cotton right now, you're feeling horrible, right? It was unintentional.
Yes.
Fell on top of her. You don't want somebody to walk here and have their season ended. So after the delay of some 5 minutes, maybe more, we are now back to playing basketball. Lamar with it. Pull-up jumper by Foreman, banks in. 4 points for Foreman, who shot a lot of shots in that game against Northern Colorado, but ended up with a 18.
The last 3 possessions, they've gotten Foreman the ball up at the top and given her a little bit of room to drive from the high post.
Rena's shooting the 3, unable to hit, and a rebound foul underneath. Ramaya White was being grabbed, and it'll be on Molly Powell. That'll be her second, and that'll send Ramaya White to the free throw line. Well, K-State, without Ayoka Lee, wanted still to have somebody inside to be able to match up against the Audie Kirks of the world in the Big 12, and Ramaya White from Virginia Tech was that person that came. 6'5" out of Louisville, Kentucky. A gentle giant, no doubt, when you visit with her, but the former #3 player in the state of Kentucky has fit in well with this group. Didn't play much in the game at SMU, but gets her first point of the game here today. 8 fouls on the Cardinals here in this first quarter. Three-pointer put up and hit. Foreman continues to be red hot to open up the season. Already with 7. And we are tied in this first quarter. Harrod looking for White, and Foreman for the weak side, able to knock it out. It'll stay with K-State, but just 12 on the shot clock. Harrod stripped of the ball. It comes to sides. No look pass, gets batted back to Taryn. Shot clock winding down. Arenas just sees it. Let's go a long 3 and hits!
That's one of those, you're like, gotta shoot it, you gotta shoot it, and then just let it go.
Arenas, former four-star recruit who played at the nation's top high school out in California, teammate of Juju Watkins. A drive and a shove on the drive by Wilson or Alenga. That'll be a foul on Ramaya White. Get another look at this last-second shot by Arenas.
Nice little crossover, step back, hands to the air.
Arenas had a tough day shooting down in Dallas, so probably happy to see it go in. Sometimes that's what you need. You don't have to think about it, right? End of the shot clock, you're not thinking, you're just letting it fly.
Yes, it's always good to just let it go.
There's a look at Arenas, who wears number 0. One of the stars for Jeff Binney's teams. Alenga made the first, missed the second. White had the rebound knocked out of her hands. And it'll stay with Lamar. So White unable to hang on to it. And an extra possession here for the Cardinals. Arad forcing a pass. Walker wanted to shoot that 3. Denley into the paint. And a foul as Minor went up for the shot. A lot of whistles here in the early going. And 2 free throws coming for the Cardinals. We're on pace for about 100 whistles in this game right now. 15 fouls combined in this first quarter as Minor makes the first of 2.
Definitely nice for Lamar to get easy buckets at the free throw line right now with the clock stopped. Nobody guarding you.
Nope. 7 of 8 are the Cardinals at the free throw line here to open up, and that's kept him on pace with State near the end of this first quarter. Dangerous pass by Spicer, won by Sides. Here's Harad in trouble, spins the other way, hammered it off the glass but couldn't get it to fall, and now a chance to hold for the final shot and take the lead for the Cardinals. Denley winding it down. Tough shot over Sides, nowhere close. White the rebound, outlets to Arenas. Final few seconds, Arenas lets it go. It's well short, and we're at the end of 1. Kansas State shoots 50 few here at Bramlage Coliseum. Second home game of the year for the Wildcats, who are receiving votes at the top 25, looking to stay unbeaten. Terrence Sides and company scored 100 points in a rout of Omaha here in their home opener a week ago. Struggled offensively on the road in Dallas on Saturday. A high screen, that's an illegal screen, will open up the second quarter, and just much like we saw in the first quarter, more whistles. They combined 15 fouls in that first quarter by these two teams, and 1 to open up here in the second on Lamar. That'll go on Alenga. Spicer needs some help. Gina Garcia, who started today for K-State, finds Spicer. Three-pointer out there. Right, another rebound. Garcia left open for a three-pointer, and she'll drill it.
That was great patience by Harad on the rebound, not just throwing it right away, finding somebody that's open. And Garcia, that was a great job for her, moving behind so that she could get that ball. 17
rebounds this season for Harad. 9 of them have come on the offensive end. Difficult shot by Armani Taylor on the in the finish. Here's Garcia. Trying to find Harad, posted up down low. Spicer with a head dribble, or a head fake, then the dribble. She'll drive to the basket and score. And yet again, Spicer run off the three-point line, getting to the basket. And so here are the Wildcats. Again, this is going to be how it's going to be most of the season. Balanced lineup and scoring, as 9 or 8 of their 10 have scored already in the game. And nobody more than 5. Near turnover near side as the ball gets thrown away, and it is a turnover on Lamar. For years, Jeff Minnie has hung their hat in this program on defense. Defense also the calling card for Aqua Franklin. You see 5 turnovers for Lamar. Can't imagine that Coach Minnie was happy with the defensive look there in the first quarter. Garcia unable to hit a runner. For years, it was the zone defense for K-State. Now it's the man-to-man, but at this point, Lamar breaking them down, getting inside. Another foul on the Wildcats. Look at this last dump off here. Foul will be given to Sides. That's actually a break. If it had been on heel, it would have been her 3rd. And Olinga to the free throw line where she's 1 of 2. Makes the first, no problem. DR Congo. You don't see too many Democratic Republic of Congo players in the Big 12, but that is where Olinga is from. Very close to over and back for K-State. Spicer, a deep 3. She got it!
In her feet set, has such a quick release on that. Just really nice.
McDonald's All-American who won the knockout contest at the McDonald's All-American game, hitting a lot of long 3s just like that. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line falls short. K-State starting to separate a little bit, wanting to run. Here's Harad. Exploding to the basket, and again draws the foul to the free throw line. Take a look again at this 3 by Spicer, and as Kindred said, the quick release from the native of Missouri. Unlimited range, really, for Spicer as well. Kindred Wiesman type range, right? Gonna shoot it from anywhere.
Yeah.
Harad, it's gonna make it free throw. So we know what we're talking about here with Wiesman 3s. We're going to see some highlights of Kindred here in a little bit when she played here, and you'll see what we're talking about. Harad will make the second. 2 out of 4 today for Harad. 6 points. An offensive rebound. And Michaela Parks in for the Wildcats for the first time. Arenas returns. Again, only 10 available tonight for K-State. Still not cleared is Alexis Hess, and no Nastia Claessens, who has left to join the Belgian national team. Spicer with a great job on getting the steal on the rebound. Fires ahead to Parks. Arenas drives in the lane, trying to sell contact. Boy, Spicer wanted to fire that one. Extra pass finds Parks for a 3. That's off the mark. And a rebound to Lamar. Wildcats 3 out of 8 from behind the 3-point line. They have the shooters, they just haven't hit the percentage yet that they think they will for the season. After an explosion in the exhibition game, it saw them hit 14 threes down on the road at Tarleton. Parks caught a little bit unaware by that Gina Garcia pass, turns it over. Foreman back in for Lamar. Leading scorer for the Cardinals. Let's look at Jeff Biddy. Having to adjust things tonight, not only without Claessens, but some early foul trouble on Janessa Cotton and Tess Heel, each on the bench with 2. Aqua Franklin in front of us, shouting out a new play for this Lamar team. Foreman was trying to get to that right hand on Garcia. Spins to it this time. Passes to the corner. Taylor hits the 3.
It's exactly what Lamar wants to do, is drive it, and then whenever that help side comes in, making that nice extra pass to the right open person and knocking down those shots.
Spicer, given an opening, will take a 3-pointer. Won't hit it. The rebound comes to Lamar. It's a 3-point lead for K-State. Here come the Cardinals, a full head of steam. Denley slams into Arenas, gets the call, and will get to the free throw line. Second foul on K-State of the quarter. This first on Arenas as you look at Denley, the veteran move here. It wasn't the shoulder, it was the swipe down by Arenas that resulted in the foul.
Yeah, I think if Arenas would have just went straight up on that one, she might have gotten away with it and not sent her to the line and maybe not have made a layup either. It's kind of a tough angle.
Denley will miss the first. That's just the third miss for the line, and 11 free throws by Lamar. Getting to the line, something K-State really did not want SMU to do. SMU, a team that averages 30 attempts from the line a game. And K-State held SMU to under 10 free throws. So this is quite a reversal as far as allowing a team to get to the free throw line. And part of that's the way the game's been called. It's been called pretty tight. That can't be a pleasing statistic for Jeff Biddy going into the half. Garcia does not use the screen initially from White. Now she'll drive right side. A running layup falls short. White back taps the rebound, and it's out of bounds to K-State. No, it's to Lamar. Garcia ruled to have touched it last.
Garcia is a lot of fun to watch. I really liked how she took those really large steps all the way around the defender just so she could get inside of her hip, and that's amazing as a freshman. I was not doing that as a freshman, so that I really like to see that from Garcia.
So many young players on this team with talent. You can see the future potential of all of them. It's a matter of getting it all together. Here's Arenas, a blow by and a lay it. 7 for Isela Arenas. An instant scoring offensive threat is Arenas. Showed it in flashes at Louisville last year, but really someone that K-State feels like could flourish as a two-guard for the Wildcats. Driving a kick here to Denley. Garcia recovers quickly. Shot clock under 10. Taylor forced to go after it with Foy, stripped, able to throw the head and get a foul. And that'll send us to a timeout. Down the way, there she is, to make it her TV debut tonight. Nice to have you and your family here. Is it different? Is it weird being back, seeing Coach Mitty now? I mean, you had a couple of years out. You were coaching for a short time and then got into this. But is it still weird to come back and see Jeff Mitty be around practice, that type of deal, and not have – or does it feel like still the same coach? He's going to yell at you in a second. No.
I feel like it's kind of the same. He was a little friendlier to me and the girls than I remember, but only because, you always remember – like the harder days the most, but no, it's awesome to be back, and I think it's just normal to see Coach like that. I would be completely like thrown off if he wasn't doing what he's doing. So, but no, it's great to be back. See Coach Ebb, Coach Nick, and all of them.
He has had, as he's obviously frustrated now, and would probably not be one that's going to be overly pleased at halftime. But being around him this year, I think he's enjoyed it being around this young group, even though it's causing him at times to pull his hair out. You go from having a team that's so experienced with Ayoka Lee and Sundell and that whole group, and you go to this young group that's all new. You're having to teach everything from the ground up, and see him you take those steps, you put in all that work. It's just like parenting or with a puppy or anything else, right? You put in all that work, and they finally get it. You're like, yes.
Yes. As a coach, it's I think that's what's the most fun is like coming back and like just having so many different things like from year to year that you have to figure out how your team's going to do good and how they're going to grow from November into March, and that's what gets the coaches going. Like that's what gets all of them going, and this is definitely a great group to do it with.
Sides hits a three-pointer. Taryn did not hit any three-pointers till the last minute of the game, and when she got a three-pointer late, it keyed that 7-0 run to finish to help K-State pull away from SMU. Lamar and Aqua Franklin did not agree with that foul call on the other end. We talked about the intensity you might see in a game from Jeff Biddy. Coach Franklin is coaching right now the way she played when she was at Texas A&M. Point guard at the head of the press of Gary Blair's famous Texas A&M Aggie defense. Here's Sides at the top of the circle. Handoff for Heel. Heel trying to get all the way downhill, and she is fouled hard by Denley. And we'll get to the free throw line. Well, we showed highlights of Kindred Wiesman. How about some highlights of Aqua Franklin? Here she is when playing in Manhattan. Then Aquanesia Franklin Oh, defense was the name of the game for her back in the 04 to 08 seasons. This here you can see going against like Shaylee Lenning and that whole group, Marlise Gibson, Claire Coggins. One of the greats in Big 12 history, and Aquanisha Franklin. Now just Coach Aqua as Heel hits the free throw. So former, and knows about this part, former associate head coach at Kansas, in a place where one of your former teammates is at, Carolina Middlebrook.
Yes, yeah, a lot of ties for me to Kansas. It's been awesome to see Coach, and I've never seen her highlights, so that was fun for me because it's just like seeing the same person, just not in a uniform, and the coach on the sideline. So it's great for our game to have people like Coach Franklin and women like Coach Franklin coming back and coaching in the NCAA, in the Big 12 for sure, like just around us.
We saw that last Monday with Jamie Carey here, the great Texas star that used to be at the University of Texas and now in her first head coaching job at Omaha. Gina Garcia hitting both free throws here for K-State as the fouls continue to rack up. That's the third foul on Molly Powell, and already into the bonus here in this quarter, 5 fouls on Lamar. So K-State could be shooting a lot of free throws the final 2:40. Minor to Taylor, trying to get it back into Minor, who was guarded by Sides, and Sides called for a bump. So Sides has 2. And if these same group of officials were at our game in Dallas, everyone would have fouled out by halftime. That was the most physical game I had ever seen, and there were hardly any fouls called. It's quite opposite here tonight.
Yeah, that's always hard as a player, just adjusting to the different, especially whenever you play so close together. Like you just had that game 2 days ago, and now you're having to pull back a little bit. It's rough.
No doubt. Second free throw doesn't go. Ramaya gets the rebound for K-State. Garcia wanting to push the tempo. Sides, trailer 3. She hit it.
It was great vision by Garcia to see it. She saw it. It felt like she saw it for like 3 dribbles, but she just was like waiting for the right time. That's a veteran move from a freshman right there.
No doubt. Sides getting attacked again. Rebound to Garcia. Here she is again in transition. Fires the pass to Sides. Taryn wanted a ball fake and fire it again, but couldn't get free. Sides to Heel, trying to get White down on the post. Taryn on the feed from Garcia. Another one in and out. Rebound, put back up and in by Arenas. And all of a sudden, the lead is 12 for K-State on an 11-1 run. Foreman trying to drive on Garcia. A little bit of a head toss, and that gets a whistle. And she'll get to the free throw line. Arenas called for the foul, but got a good offensive rebound here on this other look. Guards crashing the glass, Kindred. Got to be a plus for K-State.
It does. It does. That was a great crash by Arenas, flying in from the corner. It's really it kind of comes back to basketball IQ. You're watching the ball as the shot goes up and trying to figure out where the ball's going to go. You're not just running to the rim. That was a great job by Arenas right there.
Foreman shoots the first of 2 free throws and makes it 8 points in her second game. This is a former Texas Player of the Year nominee, 2-time state champ out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, but went to school in Texas before she transferred over, and Coach Franklin able to get her to Lamar. 2 free throws in, she's the leading scorer with 9. Here's Garcia, explodes again to the basket and lays it in. Boy, off that high screen, Garcia deadly. She has 7. Getting her first start here tonight, running the point guard spot, and may not relinquish it. Taylor trying to get free. Out on the wing. Sides giving her a little bit of room. Taylor drives, misses the shot. Heel fighting for the rebound, and she's pulled down for a foul. That'll get Heel to the free throw line on the other end. Olinga has her second.
Yeah, I think Coach Mitty's going to have a bunch of fun with Garcia on that high on ball. She is deadly from that, and you have to guard her from the perimeter standpoint. You have to guard her from a facilitator standpoint, and getting downhill to get a layup. So awesome experience right now for Garcia, and just early in the year, and hopefully we just see her keep growing.
I mean, as you said, a lot of options. You know, I mean, as you said, hard for defense to try and pick your poison, because if you help off on her drive, K-State's going to start positioning a Spicer or a Sides out on the wings. Now all of a sudden, you're really caught in a pickle on a defensive side trying to guard and stop K-State. So the Wildcats have finished strong. They've hit 4 of the last 5, a 26-point quarter here, and they've tightened it up defensively a little bit. Spicer trying to defend inside. The ball goes off the foot of Olinga, picked up by Herod. Ahead it goes to Arenas, and with a second difference of about 4 between the game clock and shot clock, K-State will run this down and look for a final shot. It'll be Garcia. Foreman with a hand on Garcia, just keeping it on Garcia. Picked by Herod. Here's Garcia again. Shot clock down to 2, down to 1. Sides has to hurry. Running layup. She got it! 10 for Sides. The half ends, and Kansas State. He will come back. Collapsed and got tied up with Janessa Cotton. Both went to the ground, and Cotton falling on top of Hill seemed to severely injure Hill, at least on her back. She had a hard time getting up and walking. So K-State with a back cut with Sides to open up here in the second half. 12 for Sides. Cotton does start the second half for K-State, and the Wildcats get an easy 2.
It's a nice quick hit. Definitely was drawn up in the locker room. We're going to hit them with that because they're going to be all up in trying to get steals. That's a really nice look from the Wildcats.
Arenas and Cotton, the 2 new starters for K-State, and Cotton with a steal on a pass into the post. Wildcats find Garcia. Got Sides, Garcia, and Arenas all up top. Here's Cotton a drive, and she'll get called for an offensive foul. K-State was hoping that the defender was in the circle, but Cotton left her feet and got called for the offensive foul. That'll be her 3rd. Pretty close. First foul on K-State in the 3rd. An 18-point lead. Lamar lived at the line in that first quarter, but have not had as many free throws in the second. Trying to get it in here to Olinga. She'll miss the shot. Rushed. K-State running the other way. Sides finds Arenas with a high dribble. Gets past the defender and lays it in. She's in double figures, and a timeout from Aqua Franklin and Lamar. We'll take a break. Just a minute, 7 seconds into the second half. K-State with the first 4 and a timeout. Terms apply, and select Big 12 schools available. Need to correct something that I said last time down when K-State got the offensive foul with Cotton. There is a change in women's basketball. The arc does not apply in women's hoops, so it didn't matter if the defender is in that circle or not. It's whether or not they're set. And clearly, the defender was set when Cotton railroaded her on the offensive play. Now a turnover by Denley the other way. One of those little rule changes that happened years ago, and then your brain cramps at a moment like this. And appreciate the assist from our good friend Brenda Van Langen, who is watching here tonight. A pro's pro when it comes to broadcasting. And Brenda, an offensive foul on K-State on a screen out high. And Jeff Mitty not happy at all with Joshua Howell, who made the call. Get a look at this again here on Herod. Herod is just moving down towards the post, is the claim by Jeff Mitty that she's not looking to set a screen. She's just moving to go down. But you could see where that would be called an illegal screen. And now Taylor may have taken a shot to the nose, and she is headed to the bench, holding her mouth, and could be getting some attention. So yet another player for Lamar going to need some treatment. Foul on Harrod is her second. Foreman trying to throw Garcia aside, but she does a good job denying the dribble drive. Denley, tough shot, hits the side of the backboard, gets her own follow. That doesn't go. Harrod trying to back tap it out. It lands with Lamar. Reset for Big Red. Gave up that 19-5 run at the end of the first half. Joshua Howell's getting his paycheck here tonight. He has made a majority of the calls, and that's another foul on K-State. That'll go on Arenas. That'll be her second. Sides on the near knockaway, working against Denley. Cotton flashes on the screen. Here's Foreman. Wonderful give and go, and a layup for Minor.
Great patience by Lamar to run their offense, get a nice look, not rushing, and that's exactly what they want, a layup.
That ends a 23-5 run that had extended back to the last quarter. Now K-State runs a little give and go with Cotton, pulls up, in and out, unable to hit. It's a good look for Cotton, who has that great mid-range jumper. Now the Cardinals back with it, trying to cut into this lead. Another flyer down the lane. This time it's Olenga, and she'll lay it in. An assist for Denley. Arenas. Harrod setting a couple of high screens. Arenas pulls up from 18. That won't go. A quick shot rebound by Lamar. Cardinals with back-to-back buckets. Only 4 points for each side in the third. Help defense quickly on Olenga. Denley will dribble out of danger. One of those three-year players that we heard about earlier from Hannah. Foreman, tough shot, no. Garcia, the rebound. K-State trying to run off the rebound. Harrod had leaked out, bounce pass instead to Arenas, full head of steam, lost the ball. K-State outlets all the way to side, sets her feet, lets it go, hits it! 15 for Taryn Sides, who is back on track back in Bramlage. 6 of 8 and now 3 of 4 behind the arc.
Kind of a broken play, but just stuck with it and found the open player.
Foreman got inside of Garcia, couldn't quite get the bucket for an and-1. Rod comes out of that mix-up limping a little bit. I don't know if she's got a cramp. She might have a, looks like her leg is locked up. And she will do her best to get over to the bench. That does look like a cramp. And Foreman to the free throw line to shoot 2. 9 points for this talented freshman who has shown no fear coming into Manhattan, Kansas in this matchup. They got the Jayhawks on Wednesday. 10 points now for Foreman in back-to-back games. 18 points in the opener, 3 boards in nearly 30 minutes. And now has 11. Tess Heel returns for K-State. We're going to hear more about Heel coming up in our next break from Hannah Whetstone. One of the few with experience for the Wildcats playing at this level. Garcia trying to get to that high screen again. Finds Spicer backing up, just short on the 3. Foreman, full head of steam. Spins to the right hand, couldn't get it. The rebound battled underneath, and a tie-up as Cotton was in there with a couple of Cardinals players. Arrow will go to Big Red. Look at Coach Jeff Biddy in his 12th season, 34th year of coaching, 5-time League Coach of the Year over 3 different leagues. in his 30-plus years of coaching. Now at 220 wins here at K-State. Second all time. Pull up three-pointer, in and out, no. Spicer fighting off a defender, gets the one-handed rebound. Garcia recognizing the hot hand with sides, instead down to Cotton. Trying to go one-on-one with Parker. Cotton spins, fade away, got it! She has this ability with that turnaround jumper to be a star player. Just hasn't had the opportunities yet. Number 80 player in the country out of high school, the Orange County Player of the Year out in Los Angeles. Spicer with a block from behind. K-State wanted to go quick. They find Garcia. Extra pass to Spicer in the corner. She'll drive right around the defender. Missed the layup, but there's Cotton for the fill.
Great follow by Cotton right there, not assuming that your teammate's going to make the layup. Spicer had a great drive right there, too. I love seeing her do that.
K-State has out-rebounded Lamar now 21-18. Spicer again, good defense on the drive by Lamar. Back-to-back good defense, or good defensive possessions by Spicer. Now she'll pull up for a three. That won't fall. And the rebound falls to Molly Powell.
Still just a great thing. Seeing Garcia do that, dribble and just do a little kickback to Spicer. That's just a veteran play. I'm just so excited to see her grow.
See, Garcia that time hip to the game of Foreman. Foreman was going to do that little spin move again. This time, Garcia knocked it away, led to Heel's fast break. She's at the line.
Welcome back to the Big 12 transfer, Tess Heel. She's originally from Melbourne, Australia, and she was the only Division I player in the nation to average over 50% in field goals a season ago. Head coach Jeff Mitty says she brings a lot to the table, including her leadership abilities and her work ethic. And on the court, her skills shine. Mitty says Heel continues to impress his coaching staff.
Yep, super tough. You can see she wears that old school football mouth guard. It always makes me think of the Australian rules football that's on late at night if you're watching TV. I see it all the time. Well, those of us, Kindred, that don't have ESPN currently on our YouTube TV, you do have to find some other options to watch late at night. And sometimes when you're working on charts for a game, you watch Australian rules football elsewhere from Melbourne or Adelaide or any of those other Australian towns that are there. We've got some Aussies in the house tonight. We've got Becca Dollinger, that's behind K-State's bench, a native of Australia. And if you talk to Tess Heel, you'll hear that Australian accent still in full force. She has her dad watching back home, her parents as well, watching basketball. Glad to have you along for the ride tonight. Spicer with a block shot gets called for the foul. And it'll send Lamar to the free throw line. Drive and a kick. We early in the game, Kindred, saw these kicks going out for threes. Now they're being dropped down to cutters going to the basket. What's changed for Lamar?
It's just different areas that Kansas State is helping from. So whenever they're helping from shooters off the corner, then that's the easiest pass in the world to make, to the shooter in the corner. But whenever you stay and your help comes up, I always told our bigs, don't help up because it's just an easy dump down. Try to help over instead of up.
Kansas State with Heel bringing it back up the court. Wildcats leading by 21, up a 12-7 in this quarter. Spicer, there's the drive and a kick. It's Heel in the corner. Three-pointer is short. One of the things that Heel has is that high arcing three. Back in the day, you could see Kimberly Dietz, who was an all Big 12 and an All-American here at K-State, used to have that high arcing three-point shot. Foy had it punked away. Was going to give it to White, and Ramaya was like, no, it's not my job with the ball in midcourt. No Garcia at the moment, so Heel's kind of running the show for K-State. Trying to get K-State's offense triggered. Looking for Heel or White down on the paint. Spicer instead sees the opening. She'll drive and score, and Spicer with 9 points. A season high.
Kind of, I'm not in rhythm down there for sure, but That was a great drive by Spicer again. And I mean, you can tell a little bit they're all trying to fill themselves out, like fill each other out and figure out how we can get the ball into an offense here.
Late whistle sees Foy get a personal, and here's Spicer again. Teams being tight up on her on the three-point line. You're going to see a lot more of this before she can get some more separation now.
Just her stature helps so much. Like just her being big and like she just has a strong base, strong shoulders, and her length is obviously just, she can do a lot more things than just shoot the three.
6 fouls on K-State in this quarter alone. Foy talking with Coach Mitty here at the moment. Tough call though on Foy. Second free throw will not fall for McDaniel. Heel left open. Misses the three. Spicer White going for the rebound. It is out of bounds to Lamar. Now Spicer, two-time All-State, the first ever McDonald's All-American in K-State history, the number 16 player in the country out of high school, the number 4 shooting guard in the country. Here's Parker is going to take a three. That won't go. And Spicer trying to get the rebound, saves it to a fellow freshman in Arenas. Arenas trying to get to Harrod. Harrod's got a small guard on her. Spicer instead a long three, no. Parker comes out of there with a rebound. And now Lamar to run some offense. It's been a 14-8 third quarter, 14-11 as a rainbow three goes in for McDaniel. A true freshman from Texas, and Kiana McDaniel. Here's Arenas the other way. A little too strong. Spicer the offensive rebound and puts it back in.
Great job using her size there, going and getting that rebound and putting it back up for the Cats.
As you said, 6'1", broad-shouldered. Foreman on the head first drive, can't get in there, and a foul as Harrod gets whacked on the head on the rebound. Olinga returns for Minor. And Minor will have a word with Aqua Franklin on her way out. A minute to go in this third quarter. The Wildcats have led by as many as 23. Spicer left wide open. Too strong. The twos have been more successful for Spicer here tonight. McDaniel may have gotten away with a bit of a walk. Shot clock at 15. Drive and a kick. Extra pass finds Foreman. Open three. She hit it. Wonderful offense by Lamar results in a three. Cuts the gap to 18, but the Wildcats get a chance at the final shot. And a reach-in foul by Denley. Some fouls to give. That's only the third in the quarter. Denley gets her third. Execution at end of quarters has been a big focus for K-State here this season.
And it's so hard for the young group, but that's something that they have to grow in to be successful into March.
Arenas with a hard drive. Contact results in free throws with 13.8 seconds left. See Arenas here flying in. Going back to what we said before, doesn't matter where you're at. It only matters you have to be set before the shooter leaves the court. And in that case, you can see the defender sliding in under Arenas. Foreman with her second foul. And Arenas to the free throw line, adding to her total on the night. 12 points for Arenas. Double figures for the second time in 3 games. 7th career double figure game dating back to Louisville. Spicer out and Garcia returns. Final 14 seconds. Can Lamar get a last word of the third? K-State will get the ball to start the fourth. Under 5 seconds. McDaniel, Denley, rushed three, didn't get it, and that were at the end of 3 quarters. Kansas State has her first double-figure game and nearing a double-double with 8 boards. Brian Smolder, Kindred Orpin with you here from Bramlage Coliseum, and Hannah Whetstone with us as well on the sidelines. K-State to the fourth quarter. Foul trouble has plagued both teams. It's been a tight whistle for much of the night. Wildcats have started to pull away here since the second half of that second quarter. Harrod bumped out high as McDaniel went for a steal, and that'll be a foul on Keonia McDaniel. That'll be her first, which is hard to believe that there's anybody in this game that has not had a foul, but McDaniel gets her first. She played just 3 minutes in the game against Northern Colorado the other day. Sides to Cotton, who can hit that shot. Foy, Harrod, and Garcia run out the 5. Here's Foy on the drive and a finger roll.
It's great athleticism there by Foy, going straight down the lane. Just avoiding that help side defense, just splitting it right down the middle.
Had 42 in a single game down at Cinco Ranch. Had an unbelievable finish to her senior season. Number 40 player in the nation coming out of high school. Denley left open, buries the 3-point. A little bit of miscommunication between K-State on the defensive end. So Denley has 8. 5 threes for Lamar. They've hit 3 of 6 in the second half. Garcia gives it back to Harrod, and she's fouled on the shot. Harrod to the free throw line. Cardinals are not a team that have hit a ton of threes. They've not hit many out of Northern Colorado, but Denley in rhythm to drill that one. A foul on Foreman is her third, and will send Harrod to the free throw line. Harrod 2 out of 4. Sitting at about 50% on the season. A left-hander, one of 2 lefties for the Wildcats this year. Arenas is the other. One more coming up for Harrod, who also was a top 40 recruit in the country, number 38 out of high school. One more for Harrod, and she calmly makes that. 8 points for Harrod. She's added a couple of boards. McDaniel, tough step through and a lay-in.
That was really good help by Garcia, but even better play for Lamar going and getting that basket.
Letting them play a little bit more now as Alenga crashes into Harrod. Foreman somehow gets that to go. 16 for Foreman. So she is every bit the highly touted recruit that Aqua Franklin advertised her as. Garcia splits the defense, finds Harrod. Harrod just shoves the defender out of the way and lays it in. 10 for Harrod in her first double-figure game.
Great pass by Garcia, great positioning by Harrod. And they call that the dunk spot. So that was a nice little spot move there.
We talked about that earlier. If you dribble drive, you're going to find either the corner shooter or wherever the help comes from. The help came from the big, easy layoff for Harrod. Chance here for these freshmen to really kind of get a chance to finish this game out, get some game action, get some film. Harrod, here's Foy. Foy was just talking with Jeff Mitty. She'll drive again, get another whistle, and get to the free throw line. Foy, another one that has a great ability to get to the basket and draw contact. 21 points, 7.5 rebounds, 3 steals is what she averaged per game for her career in high school. Playing for Seco Ranch, had nearly 700 points as a junior in one season, just shattered all sorts of records in high school. Missed the first free throw. One more coming up for Foy, who saw a lot of friends and family for her, and the 2 games in Texas for K-State so far, the play at Tarleton and then the game at SMU. Puts the lead back to 20. Kansas State's got a bunch of games in a short amount of time as well. They're back in action on Thursday against South Dakota, then Sunday against Texas A&M, who they routed in College Station a year ago. Sides with a baseline steals. You see all these games coming up, and then back at it a week from tomorrow against Troy for K-State. And then the real tough slate begins. Going to Green Bay, which is not a picnic. And then Columbia, who's ranked just outside the top 25. Sides a ball fake, lets it go. Can't get the roll. Columbia, the first of that Thanksgiving tournament in Cancun, which sees K-State match up against some big-time programs, including South Dakota State. Arenas getting shoved around in the, or I should say, Sides getting shoved around in the paint. Olenga a drive and a wild shot. Garcia. Wanted Sides to take that trailer 3. Instead, Taryn will drive and kick. It'll be Foy that'll take the 3. Short. And a rebound for Lamar. Here come the Cardinals the other way. And Sides with another steal. Garcia stopped the drive. Sides, no look pass. Harrod couldn't hit. And a timeout for Lamar. That'll take us to a break. K-State by 20, looking to put the finishing touches on this one when we return. Coming up, we'll hear about Molly Powell, 2-sport player for Lamar.
A 2-sport athlete because of her work ethic and her love for both games.
Work ethic is a definite key if you're going to try and pull off that double Division I sport. As you see Powell here with the basketball working on the outside. She has not scored in this game. Foul trouble early kind of erased her contributions in this game. I know one year you got to play with a 2-sport athlete, Peyton Williams. It was your senior year, but Peyton came in as a freshman and was splitting time between volleyball and basketball and became an all Big 12 player in both, which is even more unheard of. I would imagine it's incredibly difficult to try and pull off that double sort of duty.
Yes, it takes a special kid, and Peyton Williams was definitely one of those kids that she's just very well-rounded, loved both games a lot, and wanted to be great at both, and honestly at everything. I mean, she's so smart in school too. So just being with Peyton, I mean, just you wouldn't know, like sometimes she'd leave practice early and have to go to volleyball, and because our kind of seasons commingle too. So Molly Powell's definitely, I mean, it is not for the weak, and definitely a hard worker, like Coach Franklin had talked about with us. Just loves both games so much and wants to be great at both.
White unable to hit the follow-up as Sides missed the 3. Shot clock a reset here at 15. Arenas trying to get it into White, knocked away. Williams was playing professionally in China this year. We saw her earlier this season, or maybe it was last year, talking with her, Peyton Williams, and her love of going to China to play. And one of the things she's experienced and wanted to experience was the ability to go and play in different countries every year. Learn cultures. Sides hits a corner 3. She is 18, and I thought to myself when Peyton said that she's going to go to China. Well, I've never been. Do you speak any Chinese? No. Like, all right, well, that sounded like the most Peyton Williams thing ever. Like, she's going to go figure it out, be with other people. I always told her she'd make a great spy, you know, which probably shouldn't say out loud because she might be, and now I've just outed her and whatever. That she's CIA will be in contact, but she'd always, you know what I mean? Like somebody that's just so smart and can be just basketball player and go into other countries and do whatever.
Yes. I feel the exact same way about Peyton. It's just, it was so crazy to me, like, because I'm older than her, so I'm supposed to, like, know more a little bit, you know? I never felt that way with Peyton. I was just like, Peyton, what do I do?
One of the greats in K-State history from nearby Topeka. Such talent. Sides with a great look into Ramaya White. Well, that looks familiar. That's a play K-State ran for years for Ayoka Lee. And it's Sides this time delivering it in. Sides with 20 points, 4 assists for K-State. You can see with some of the pressure perhaps taken off of Sides as being the facilitator of offense with Gina Garcia and a little bit of Arenas. It has helped Sides explode for a big game. Arenas now with 15. 11 for Spicer, 10 for Harrod. The Wildcats 7 each from Heel and Garcia. Heel with 4 assists and a couple of steals. Another rebound here, her third. Fires up ahead to Sides. K-State trying to step on the accelerator late. It'll be Arenas lighting it up for threes and hitting it. 18 for Arenas. K-State scored 100 in their first home game. They're rolling up to 85 now here in this one. Finishing strong, and Taryn Sides a big part of this late 15-2 run. 20 points on the night for Sides. She's hit 4 threes, playing as the 2 guard tonight for K-State.
With Taryn, just you talked about pressure coming off of her. I think I went through that as a player for Coach Mitty also, just going from shooting guard to point guard to having Karila come in, Middlebrook come in and be the point guard. And it does take a lot of weight off your shoulders whenever you have multiple people that can bring the ball up. You have multiple people to facilitate the offense. And that's just where you're seeing, I think, Taryn just grow and be confident as a leader. And she's always led by example. But that's just something that she is growing into. And it's great to see. Undersized guard. And I just feel like she's living what I was doing,
that's
but
right,
a little bit better.
I think you're selling yourself short a little bit there. Kindred, again, 2-time first team All Big 12 guard, playing with Bree Lewis, that team that got to the tournament under Jeff Biddy for the first time when he came here at K-State. 3-pointer hit by Walker out here on the wing. KJ Walker with a 3. That's the 6th of the night for Lamar. Michaela Parks has come in. Spicer returned along with White and Foy. K-State all underclassmen out on the court at the moment. Parks feels like has been here for a long time, and she has. But medical registers have kept her eligibility at just a sophomore. She has it here in the corner. Her sister Keeley now at Kansas. Michaela Parks, the drive and the finish, her first basket of the season. And now all 10 Wildcats have scored in the game. Parks, another product out of Oklahoma, out of Norman. Pull up 3 for Foreman, and she'll hit it. Man, this kid's going to be something else in the Southland. 19 for Foreman.
Just kind of giving Spicer a little taste of her own medicine.
Yes,
Go
she
under
is.
screen, drill a 3.
Spicer tells Parks to get it back to Garcia. Spicer now giving it on the wing. Spicer wants to drive baseline, shoving a man away. What a pass by Spicer to find Foy. Too long on the 3, and it is out of bounds to Lamar. What a pass, though, from Spicer.
With the left hand. That's even more impressive.
You can hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd as she... Look at that. Boy, if Foy had hit that 3, that would have brought the house down. Walker, another 3, no. And a rebound inside for Spicer. So she's nearing a double-double. Parks fumbles the long pass ahead. Foreman coming back the other way. And Parks strips her of the basketball. It'll stay with Lamar. And that is the 10th rebound by Spicer. So a double-double for Jordan Spicer here tonight. 11 points, 10 boards, with no Classens, who had been about a double-double average on the season. They needed Spicer to step up and get those. Foy leaves it for her fellow freshman Spicer. Skip pass to Garcia, and the Cats will now, who have hit 6 of the last 7, begin to dribble this out the final minute of the game. Garcia to Ramaya White. Another assist for Garcia. The playmaker has 4. for the rebound. Not enough time to dribble it out, but close, and a reach-in foul by McDaniel will reset the clock and may allow K-State to just dribble it out. Fourth foul here in the fourth quarter. Garcia will get across midcourt and is content to just dribble it out, and hear no fouls coming from the Lamar bench. And that will do it. Kansas State will get to 3-0 on the season. Lamar will fall to 0-2. They have the next trip, a date to Lawrence, and a matchup against the Jayhawks on Wednesday. From the middle of the second quarter on, K-State dominant in this game. They shoot 52% from the field and have 4 in double figures, led by Terrence Sides, 20 to lead the way. No Claussens, no problems.